Hey everyone, I hope everyone is doing well. It is Friday, a beautiful day, and I wanted to talk a little bit more about these Greenstalk hydroponic conversions that I've been working on. Some more benefits I found, some things I've learned. So, there's a lot of tubing in this, collection of systems I have, and oftentimes the perlite can fall through the holes and get up and go into the piping and then fall into the reservoir, eventually going back into the pump and sometimes clogging up the pump, preventing a proper flow. I've noticed that's happened a few times. I don't have that happen anymore, and the fix to that was very simple, very cheap, budget friendly. So I bought organza bags, and I just bought a cheap, maybe like a 50 count of organza bags for $8 on Amazon, and they work beautifully. To be honest, as long as they don't tear or rip, you can reuse them, wash them. So that's been a fix for the particles issue, and it's been a wonderful fix. As far as the pests are concerned, pest control, I have personally started using, I don't know, you can see this around the base of these blocks, but been using something called Tanglefoot, and I can show it to you guys. So Tanglefoot, I was not able to find this on Amazon recently, so I bought a generic version. Works just as well, but it's insect barrier. A lot of people put them at the base of tree trunks and things like that, and it keeps insects from crawling up. It doesn't unfortunately help against the flyers so much, but it does keep the insects that can crawl up onto your garden and down significantly. This year I've not been able to grow a squash at all without some kind of stupid worms getting on there incredibly quickly, and I have actually been able to grow squash now without any issues. No insects or anything getting on there, so that's been really wonderful. And then I think in a nutshell, those are the things I've discovered so far, as like downsides or things that I've had to kind of work around to make sure that these systems stay safe in Florida. It's very vicious here with the insects and things like that. Here's some new transplants I just moved over. I've got lettuces, broccolis. They're definitely adjusting. It's been a little warm with the sun and everything, but they are staying alive, and I do expect them to all bounce back. Looks like, like the lettuce is there in the middle. They're doing okay. So it's just going to take a little bit of time. And then I put some Napa cabbages on the top and some carrots on top of that, which it doesn't look like the Shinkarota carrots have germinated yet. Over here, I did a few more transplants, a lot of them from my indoor hydroponic AeroGarden system I actually started. Looks like a little bit of sun scalding here. You can see that from the white. So sometimes when you don't harden off a plant properly, it can cause things like sun scalding, and they can even die just from the stress. But I found that if you put them in a hydroponic environment outdoors, their chances of survival is a lot higher. So I typically just let them go through the shock. I don't often harden off the plants, but in this case I didn't, and it looks like everything is doing very well. This is day 3. I did plant some new tomato seeds up in here, Sicily, I believe they're little Sicily slicers. I am testing a few determinate types that get to be about 5 feet tall. I'm doing bush types, I'm doing micro dwarves, and I'm even doing indeterminate type tomatoes in here. I just want to see what I can manage. There's an eggplant right here, but I just want to see what I can manage. Like, this is a sun gold tomato, and I've got pretty decent. I've got already clusters growing and flowers, and it's doing very well. And then up the top I've got orange hat micro dwarf tomatoes. Those are also doing pretty awesome. So I would say as long as I can manage with trellising, which I'm using these little, you push them in the basket, and they're so cheap on Amazon. If anybody's interested, you hit me up in the comments and I can send a link to the description. But what I did is I put one here, where the spinach is, and I just ran this up, and as it keeps growing up, I'm gonna put another one here. And the beauty is, I don't know if you can see, but this one I stacked 2 of them. They're able to actually interlock, and you can stack them. And if I ever get worried about the stability with them bending or anything with the weight of the tomatoes, I will probably buy some metal rods, probably stainless, and just really cheap, thin ones, but enough to provide some support so they don't just, bend over so easily. Not to mention, if worst case scenario comes, I do have the larger trellis, or I could build something. I just wanted to see how well I could contain one system and continue to keep the rotating feature. I love the fact that you can rotate this thing. It just makes it so easy, for anybody to be able to just rotate it. It doesn't seem like the tomatoes or any of the plants are sacrificing anything from not getting the full sun of the day, but I do tend to spin them periodically. Otherwise, I do like this new reservoir system much better. These are 9.5 inches tall, and these are about 10.5 inches tall. So when I did the measurement and everything, it comes out just 1 inch lower. I drill the holes in the side so that if it rains, it doesn't just dilute and make my reservoirs go crazy, and then I'd have to just add more nutrients again later. So that fixes that. As far as rain entering this system, the beauty is, yes, rain probably will get in, and yes, rain probably will over time with heavy rains come in and dilute a little bit. But the good news is this is only so wide, so it can only accept such a volume of rain at any given time, so you can kind of control that flow rate. And if it's raining real bad, there's no reason to really run the system, so I could just install a valve down here, close it off when it rains, and well, there you go. Then it would just fly out of this, come out of the bottom of this reservoir. It's like a little mini reservoir, and it collects the water and it feeds it back in. It's the ultimate basin from Greenstalk's website. But yeah, I think I've got most of it figured out. I'm going to keep going with this. I'm going to keep pushing hard because I really believe this one's doing well. I'm also pushing my pipe system still. I just got a little discouraged when the hurricane did its damage and knocked all the stuff over. It made my other system, rendered it completely useless. I'm not quite sure what's going on, but it's just leaking crazy amounts now. I was losing more nutrients and money than I really wanted to keep sinking into it, so I'm shutting that down. Probably going to buy a few more of these towers and put them over there. I'm going to keep this main pipe system, my very first pipe system, because I do enjoy it. I like the idea, and I was able to get quite a few tomatoes from the system last year. I have a video where I was growing 10 fingers of Naples, and it was phenomenal. I got probably 100 pounds of tomatoes throughout the season from that setup, and that's plenty for me. So this year, with all the plants filled in that, I'm going to have a total of about 60 plants. And it's like, holy crap, well, that takes up a good amount of area, but they don't take up much area at all. There's literally like 16 or 17 in here, and there's almost 30 plants in this one, 30 tomato plants. And just between everything adding up, there's 18 capacity over there. I mean, you're getting up pretty high. So this is the most I've ever attempted. It's going to be a lot of managing, a lot of interesting things I'm going to be trying this season, but that's what keeps it fun. Always trying to push new and innovative ways to grow our food. I try to hit up Greenstalk when they have a sale, right? It's kind of pricey. It can add up quickly on the wallet. I can still tell you that buying a Greenstalk and then converting it to hydroponic is still half as expensive as buying a garden tower, and that to me is already a win. So if you can ever get anything on a deal or a discount, you're just saving yourself even more. Those garden towers are like $700-800, whereas this investment, you invest a little bit more up front, but if you plan on building multiple systems, you end up spending maybe anywhere from $400, maybe around $400 on the system. That's buying this, buying that, buying the reservoirs, buying the tubing. And let's say you're building 4 systems, then it'd be about $400 per system. So for roughly $1,200-1,300, I built these 4 systems. Whereas for $1,200 to $1,300, I couldn't even buy 2 garden towers. It just speaks volumes for what you can do and what our limitations and innovations can get for us. If anybody has any more questions about how these work and you're interested in building your own, you can always leave a comment, and I will do whatever I can, whether I make a full-length video when I build my new one. I do have another tower waiting. It's a 7-tier leaf strawberry tower. I'm gonna just fill it up with strawberries entirely. I want to see how well something like that does. So like I said, I appreciate everybody's time, and I hope everyone has a wonderful weekend ahead, and thank you for watching. And if you like this, please like and subscribe, and we will see you on the next one.